Social networking sites like Facebook enable long-lost friends to get in touch, but it also opens the possibility of rekindling old flames. Good Morning America recently discussed this with one successful rematch.
They'd met in the summer of 1987 on a 5-week camping trip out west.
We pretty much spent 5 weeks making out in the back of the van, so I'm not sure.
It was just kind of like first kiss summer fling, I guess. I never really thought of it turning into anything way more serious.
21 years later, Elise and Harlan were reunited, first online and then face-to-face, and romance unexpectedly bloomed again. The internet had reconnected them, making them part of a new wave of singles finding romance in their past. They are called retrosexuals, a recently coined term which describes people who reach back into their own lives to reconnect with lost loves and possibly start the romantic relationship again.
Ooh, retrosexuals, huh? It is a phenomenon. So to discuss it, our psychologist, John Aiken. Good morning, John.
Morning, Kerri-Anne.
This new phenomenon, what are the pros and cons of doing this? That was a successful one.
Yeah, well, I mean, the pros are that you can actually hook up with someone and have a very healthy and rewarding relationship like they seem to have. The cons of it, however, are that, you know, the people that you hook up with, the things that broke you up in the first place may not have changed. There may be a lot more complications now, children or, you know, issues around their values and beliefs that have changed, and so it's not that easy.
So there are quite a few risks attached to it. There's a new Australian study that talks about infidelity and the web, cyberspace, and it says that infidelity, there are 55% of respondents that are either married or in committed relationships who are actually hooking up with people on the net. Is that figure surprising to you?
Well, I mean, it's pretty high, but I guess what it says is that, you know, this type of mechanism now allows people to get out there and to start sort of putting the feelers out in a way that sort of they can do it on the side without getting caught. But of course, sometimes people do get caught out in the end of it all.
So it sort of happens at arm's length, so they feel a bit safer about it, and it's a bit more fun. Look,
I think it's fun. It's also, you've got the whole thing around being able to look at the pictures and find out more about them in a safe way, as you say.
So now, looking at those risks there, the family and friends, that's one of the things. It's like 21 years later or 15 years later, you're not going back with them.
Yeah, that's right. So you could have major problems with people that say, look, I didn't like them then, I don't like them now. But you've also got things to issues around unresolved feelings, and also, you know, they'll have a sexual history now. You know, they'll have had partners since your relationship. So those sorts of things are issues you're going to have to work through.
We've got a couple of emails that I'd like to run by. This is from Lucy, who says, I'm 36. I've been single for a while, find it hard to meet new people. I've stalked a couple of ex-boyfriends on Facebook. I've been thinking about getting in touch with them to maybe reignite the spark, as it's a good alternative to internet dating, as they're not complete strangers. She's got a point. They're not a complete stranger.
Yeah, I think she does have a good point.
I think she's got a bit of a problem stalking them.
I'm not sure how much contact she's trying to have with them, but look, if you do this, you at least have some idea of what you're getting into, because you know that person, you've got some history there. So as long as you're just aware that there can be a bit some complications to it, it is a good thing.
This is from Daniel. My wife has accepted friendship requests from ex-boyfriends. I don't like their motivations and why she wants to remain in contact with them. Even though she is listed as married on a Facebook profile, it makes me uncomfortable. Should I be worried?
Look, I think, yes. Yeah, I think it's not a great thing to be then hooking up with your ex out of the blue. You know, what are the intentions there? What's the purpose behind it? I just say, look, give it a rest and just put up a boundary there and say, no, you don't need to have them in your life.
And what if she says, I'll do what I like?
Well,
maybe you've got your answer then, Daniel.
That's right.
Okay. And Marcus says, my ex-girlfriend contacted me recently through Facebook. I was happy to go along with what I thought was a fling, but now she wants commitment from me. There was a good reason we both, and this comes back to what you said, good reason we broke up in the first place. My feelings remain the same. How do I let her down gently?
Well, you know, the thing is just be honest in this situation. You know, you've got to essentially give them the bad news.
Yeah. Just be as gentle as possible.
Gentle as possible, but allow them to move on.
Most important thing to remember, And in terms of a tip for if you're going to go back in your life?
Okay, what I'd say is know how you feel about the person before you do it. Identify what went wrong that broke you up and change the script so that it's not the same as it was before. Otherwise, you're going to get the same old outcome. And don't forget, have same goals as well so you know your expectations for the future. And that should hold you in good stead.
Getting more and more complicated these days, but John Aiken, thank you for clearing some of that up.